There's a storm a brewing. How bad's it going to be for you? And did you see the lunar eclipse of last weekend? What does that mean for you? Joe looks into a crystal ball to tell us all there. And do you know what an Indian summer is and whether we're going to get one?
Hello and welcome to Square Raindrop. I'm Joe Wheeler.
And I'm Steff Gaulter.
Now, we've had that very exciting minute where the Met Office published their list of names for the upcoming storm season. But are we going to see Amy this weekend?
Does Amy scare you? Is it a scary name?
No.
No, me either. Me either. I
No,
don't think it-
Amy. Sorry, Amy is the name of one of a pair of twins. The other one probably also has a name beginning with A, and they both love horses. And then they got involved in a fire in the stables and they saved all the horses. That's what happened.
What books have you been reading, or have you been smoking something, Joe?
No, you asked me about Amy. I'm telling you about Amy, right?
Amy's my friend that lives in New York. She doesn't like a horse.
Amy's my friend, and she's got a bit of she's a bit of a clean freak. Yeah, so sorry. Oh, I'm going to go with the horse one, right? But anyway, Storm Amy doesn't scare me at all.
Well, I don't know whether Storm Amy scares you or whether even this storm's going to be Amy, but there is a storm that's heading towards us for the weekend. So Sunday, Monday look a bit wild. And our friend Andrew happens to be on a plane.
Oh no, flying where?
He's going from Ireland, down in the southeast, over to Southampton, hopefully to see a match that Southampton won't lose. And yeah, he's flying in, flying out, and it looks pretty bumpy, particularly for the way home, because that low pressure is pushing in for late on Sunday and into Monday. So it's Sunday night and Monday that are really quite windy.
Well, yeah, and the trouble with Amy, not Amy, maybe might call her something else just so she sounds more ferocious, is that it's another of those storms that crosses the jet stream and becomes stronger as it exits, and we don't really know exactly where it's going to land. At the moment, it looks like it's coming through kind of central areas, which is fine. It'll be wet, it'll be windy. I mean, nothing major. It's only for people like us that it gets really exciting because we're watching it come across the Atlantic as something quite benevolent and then becoming quite angry as it goes across the jet.
That's right. So first of all, it starts to strengthen in just this little trough that's in the east of Canada, and then its second strengthening is across that jet stream as it heads across the Atlantic. So yeah, by the time it gets to us, it's going to be very different from how it was, just a few short days, hours beforehand. So where will it go? How strong will it be?
Well, exactly. Now, of course, people are saying already, oh, the days of summer are so far behind us. And it's
They
like, it's
are.
been a
They
week.
are. It's freezing.
It's been
I'm
a
one of
week.
those people.
And you've been on holiday anyway. Where have you been?
Yes. I went to Malta, and you'd be proud of me.
Yeah,
Managed to actually get there this time.
with a passport.
Yes, with or without a passport. Frankly, I wasn't interested. Just if you don't remember, anyone watching, last year I went away or didn't. My family went. I stayed at home with my non-helpful passport. This year it worked. We were all on the plane and we all made it to the island that we intended. Oh, yes.
That's pretty good. Now, I've been to Malta once. It was quite a few years ago, and I went with my eldest daughter. And I have to be honest, I wasn't entirely sure where Malta was. More importantly, I didn't really know what currency they used either. So as we hurled into the air in this plane that felt as small as a toilet roll holder, I kind of said to it, should we have some money for this place? Um, where exactly is it? Where are we going? What do they speak there? I went completely uninformed. It was very beautiful, but their money was so heavy.
What? I think they use euros now, Joe. I'm
Oh,
suggesting
do
you're
they?
showing your age.
It was. I told you it was a long time ago. It was. It was a long time ago. But they had this really, really heavy money. Well, if they got euros now, well, that's lighter, and I probably have some of those in my glove box. So there
Yeah,
you go.
plenty. I would say it's busy. It was packed. They say you have to go and see the Blue Lagoon. Well, I went, so did the rest of the island and half of Europe, it seemed as well. I've got this great picture that just shows how packed this place was. But I dragged my poor kids. I mean, you wouldn't want to be my child for all the tea in China, but I dragged them off. I was like, this bit's really busy. But look over there, a 150-meter swim. Look, I know you're eight, but I reckon you can do it. So off we went on this swim across to another little island that was just off there, 150 meters or thereabouts away. They both made it. Day's a good one. And we spent our day on the beach over there, far less crowded. And then at the end, we swam back again. And it was an
That is
even happier occasion because no one had stolen my belongings while I wasn't there.
that is truly impressive. Do you think this is happening because we've got this tourist tax in Iberia?
I really don't know. It was just really, really busy. And just about every tourist location there was busy. I spoke to the taxi drivers and I said, look, it's right at the end of our summer holiday. Shouldn't that mean there's less people? And they kind of rolled their eyes at me in the way that, silly foreigners get their eyes rolled at them. And they said, no, it just means that people are coming from different countries now. So we're seeing more Germans and more Danish because their holidays carry on that little bit longer. But it's just as busy. They say it just is busy for those 3 months. Those 3 months of summer.
I just happened to see something about the fact that various places in Spain are missing the British cash because obviously we're being surcharged to go there. People are finding different places to go. So, maybe that's why Malta's busy. And please answer that question for me. What is the native language of Malta?
Maltese. Not Malteser, as my daughter kept saying, because she does like Maltesers. They are her favourite chocolate. But it's not the same as the language. But amazing history there. There is just amazing history. The stuff they did in World War II is amazing.
Go on then, tell us.
Well, they were like the hospital for the Allies, and so lots of soldiers came there, and they sort of recuperated, and they moved on. And there's also these walled, forted cities, and all these underground bunkers. It's really fascinating.
You were paying attention, weren't you? You weren't just at the bar.
I was, and my son went, Mummy, can we go down there? Because there's an underground World War II bunker. And I was like, interested in something vaguely educational? Absolutely. So we went down there. We found a parrot. The parrot was called Kiki the Fourth. That was it. No more bunkers, just Kiki.
Well, I'll look up Maltese on Duolingo before I next go there.
Good. I
Now,
believe that it's a mixture between Italian, Arabic, and probably some other languages, I would imagine. But yes, those are the two main ones that
now,
contribute.
you see, of course, I'm fascinated about languages across Europe because I learned French in school, like most people did. And then I lived in Portugal and realized that having lived in Portugal, I could read Spanish, but in actual fact, they're not very similar at all. But also, when we were kids, we had something called Italian chatter, and all I can remember from that is mangiabile, which means this is inedible. But again, it works very much the same as French. And then I learned Russian and realized that actually Polish and some of those Eastern European languages are very similar, different alphabets, admittedly. Try Greek, that was difficult. So I've got this interest in kind of holistic language across Europe and wondered where Maltese fitted into that.
Mafi Maltese. I don't know whether Mafi is actually a word from Maltese, but it's Arabic. From my 13 years in Doha, I can speak about seven words. One of them is I don't speak Arabic, Mafi Arabi.
Good to know that you spent your time wisely. Now, last weekend, we had this the blood moon, the eclipse.
Yes. Did you see it?
Well, I went to look for it. It wasn't that spectacular because we had too much cloud and it was just white as far as I can see. I was short-sighted. I did forget my glasses, but I didn't think it mattered when you're looking at the moon because it's quite a long way away anyway.
What a useless observer you have turned out to be. Again, can I just say again, every time something happens in Lincolnshire, I'm like, here we go, Joe's on the ground for us. Nothing. So I looked out my window in my diligent way with glasses and probably a pair of, what do you call them? Binoculars with me.
Binoculars.
And yeah, don't know what they're called, them little things. Anyway, looked out the window and it's totally clear, stars everywhere, except for a blanket of cloud just on the edge of the horizon where the moon was. And as the moon popped over that, it came out a full eclipse. So there you go. It wasn't to be.
It was very soon after sundown, wasn't it?
Yes, very, very soon.
So, we were lucky. Somebody did one of those maps showing a gradient where, because they said 8 billion people would be able to see it. But in fact, it was graded. And we weren't in one of those high percentage places. We were just kind of whatever. But, of course, the other thing that happens now, I know you like your long range forecasts.
Oh, yes.
And also, let's bring a little bit of the into it, yeah, because astrologically, the moon moved into Pisces on the weekend with
Oh,
that
I'm
eclipse.
Pisces. Does that mean it's good for me?
No.
Oh,
Um, the eclipse. The eclipses are turning points. They are karmic markers tied to fate, destiny, and other high stakes spiritual consequences. They accelerate timelines, perpetuate the inevitable, rearrange reality, and drag the deepest, darkest secrets out into the open. I should have
gosh.
stayed on
So if
Saturday.
I'm if
That's
I'm
all I
having an
can say.
affair, then now's the time to abort. If it drags secrets out, sounds
Oh,
dangerous.
yep, yep. Secrets dragged out, old relationships gone, relationships transform, power dynamics recalibrate, and even the steadiest patterns are interrupted.
Gosh, that
There you
sounds
go.
scary.
That's without going into the separate star signs, but I do like a little bit of that. And I did think, do you know what? We could do with a bit of a shake up. Let's go with the flow. Well, we didn't have a choice. I mean, the eclipse came and it went. The moon moved into Pisces, and it is a time of change and recalibration. So brace yourself. Well, all of this is particular really to three signs, but for everybody, it says expect endings, expect closures, expect brand new doors swinging open as the old ones slam shut.
Did you know that Doha's, like, people have little slogans for their countries to try and encourage tourism. Doha's was expect amazing. I always
That's
did.
pretty good.
And I'm always disappointed when I don't get that amazing. Anyway, if you missed the lunar eclipse from last weekend, how about we upgrade, Joe, to the full solar eclipse that's taking place next August? Now is the time to book your holidays. You got to get to Spain to see the full solar eclipse. You can't see it in the UK. You will be able to in Spain.
So let me get this right. Your idea is that you go on holiday to Spain,
Yes,
you book a very expensive air ticket to get there.
cheap, cheap. I'm talking Ryanair.
Okay, but to go to the sunshine, to make sure the sunshine isn't there with a solar eclipse.
Yeah, yeah. 7 days in the sun, 6 of which you'll have some sun, 1 of which you're going there for. There won't be any.
Okay, I suspect this won't prove to be as popular as you think it might be. Maybe hold on the whole idea of being, a travel agent, Steph.
Oh, I'm sure there's other people like me out there.
Now, listen, on the one hand, we might have Storm Amy this weekend. On the other, people are going, oh, summer's gone. Will we have an Indian summer?
Well, that's what I'd love. I love these Indian summers because I'm not ready for autumn yet. Yeah, I find this the most depressing time of year, joking aside, because now I've got what? 9 months of greyness to look forward to before anything vaguely warm and sunny comes along again. So, yeah, if there's an Indian summer, I will be the first person out there celebrating it. So, yes, I'm hoping for an Indian summer. At the moment, what do you reckon?
Well, I think there's possibly an area of high pressure coming along before the month is out, which will give us 2 or 3 days of fine weather. But that's still not an Indian summer, is it?
No, that's right. And after that, it looks like it all turns all higgledy-piggledy and low pressure-y again. But yeah, if we get really warm weather now, that's not an official Indian summer because an official one has to have a frost before it happens. So no frost, no Indian summer. So yeah, that's the rules. I don't make them.
We'll have to wait and see. Now I'm hoping for a few more days of fine weather because you know those semicircular tools you have to do the edge of your lawn.
Oh, yes.
I have two, but I
Why am I
don't know
not
where they are.
surprised? Actually, my only surprise is that it's not more.
Well, I shall shortly have a third. I would have had a third this morning if B&Q had had them, but they haven't. So I'm going to have to order online because I can't find the two that I've got. I may have left them in a tree somewhere, but the edge of my lawn and the patio is looking really shoddy. So I need a couple of days of good weather and one of those semicircular cutty things, and then I shall be a happy girl.
My goodness. Do you know, I tried to pick some apples before on our rather high apple tree, and I couldn't find the apple picker that we've got. So I had to go and buy another one. And I did think at the time, I think I'm turning into Joe? No, I thought I'm turning into my dad. But it turns out you are too, which is weird given you never met him. But you do share a birthday.
That is true. Yeah, we did. We did, didn't we? Absolutely. You see, it must just go with the date. Simple as that.
That'll be it.
Well, here we go. At least the gardens are getting some rain now, which is something. And maybe we'll get a couple of nice days. But I mean, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, if anybody wants a personalised forecast, unlike the one that I forgot, please do contact us.
Yes, do that. And we are at weather@squareraindrop.com. We're always here waiting for you.